What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talk to you about Lucid, I want to go over some of the data points, break it down what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is up a very impressive 5.04%, 225 the low, 244 the high. So Lucid's having some pretty kick-ass momentum today, and so far right now Lucid should be closing over the last 5 days up 10.37%, so a good way to close the week. But I think just generally, even though there wasn't any news associated to Lucid, no SEC filings, no macro data points, it is just momentum. And today was going to be a lot of volatility across the board because of the witching day, so that's always usually a lot of negative volatility initially. But the only thing that kind of came out that I wanted to bring up was this right here. So potentially, I guess, peace or continued full ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. So markets saw that as somewhat optimistic, but prior to this even coming out, Lucid was gaining some pretty good momentum. And one thing that was rather odd about Lucid today was this. So shorts for whatever reason are returning 2.06 million shares. And in my opinion, every time we see this type of scenario play out, some big news does come. So I think Adam Jonas said it perfectly well, that he sees upside roughly around a bull case of $10, and a lot of that is because of partnerships. So you never know, shorts returning on a Friday, which is rather odd, maybe means that big news might be coming. Of course, I might be jumping to conclusions, but let me know your general thoughts. One thing to bring up though is you see cost to borrow minimum being negative, so that does mean that there is a broker out there physically paying people to short Lucid. So there is still some signs of manipulation, but very positive to see shorts returning. So 22.99% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 278.4 million shares overall are being shorted. Moving over to options, so you see 651,000 in calls to 421,000 in puts. 53% of all the options being done are bearish in nature today. And if we kind of look at this is clearly big institution outlier, 193 between 205 and 210. And so if we kind of orient this, you see a lot of bearishness, so a lot of $3 puts are being purchased. So I think for whatever reason, there's some bearishness going on near the tail end of the day, but I think overall pretty successful day and week. So far 1.07 in total premiums today, and then the day prior 1.1, so a little bit low on that front for the options. But based on this, you do see a consensus for it to be roughly around that $2.50 to $3 going into next week. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 2, but with today being Friday, just take note of some of this. So at the $2.50 strike price, there's 31,000. So if for whatever reason, if Lucid is able to close above 250 in the next hour or whatever the market closes, then you could see a nice push come Monday. But again, I think shorts might kind of wake up a little bit if it does get close to that 250 mark. So just kind of take note of that. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So big money for, again, whatever reason, this kickstarted the good momentum with Lucid. Whereas a lot of other stocks and like most of the market was selling off, you had big money buying for whatever reason. So let me know your kind of viewpoint on that, and if there is some good catalyst that you feel is coming out to justify some buying going on today. I know going into next week on the 27th, we have that big launch for Lucid, but aside from that, I don't know if there's any other catalyst that maybe I'm not aware of. But aside from that, these are all the dark pool transactions above $100,000. So not all that much. So I think a lot of that is just shorts returning initially, and maybe some big institutions kind of rebalancing possibly. But with it at $2.40, trading between this pivot and this S1, so 206 is going to be a strong support, 263 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. I'm looking at the 1-day chart as well, moving over to the 4-hour. So this is a little bit stronger. It is right below this R3. So $2.41 going to be a key one to really watch for it to close above that. No new analyst ratings. Even looking at articles, not really much kind of coming out, a lot of just like, should Lucid buy, or should you buy Lucid, that type of stuff right now, but nothing like up to date or like new information. So hopefully we get some of that going into next week with the launch. But today it is above that ALMA, which is right now at $2.33. Next strong target is going to be that $2.56, and that's that 100-day moving average. So early on in next week, just watch for that to be kind of touched slash broken. Aside from that, stochastic RSI is kind of overbought, but then again, a lot of stocks, that's normal for corrections. So I feel like the market is ready to start to kind of move higher to where it was. So let me know your thoughts. Have you been buying Lucid? Have you been selling? What's your general kind of 2 cents on shorts returning 2.06 million shares? Do you think it's like they know something and that they're acting based on that, or do you think that they're just kind of trying to mitigate some risk? What's your kind of general thoughts on all that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. But with all that, appreciate all of you watching.